This is the 6th installment of WORRYDOTCALM. The intent here is to offer tips to help you worry less. Now, I will be the first one to admit I worry. I'm actually pretty good at it. I've written 2 books and I speak to groups a lot about managing worry, yet I worry. I believe it's nearly impossible to not worry, actually. I'm a believer. People who know me as a faithful person, but I still worry. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Fear and faith. Of course, I believe that worry is basically fear and faith. How do the two actually work together? You know, we're chest deep still in this pandemic right now, and it's a scary time. I mean, just when we have one worry licked, 2 more things pop up out of nowhere in a millisecond that give us near panic, things to worry about constantly. And our goal is to try to not let it consume us. The question is, where's God in all this? Did he sit this out? Can our faith help us through something like this? I don't believe for a second that God caused this. I don't believe he sat down in heaven and looked and said, what am I going to do today? Let's cause a pandemic. That'll show him. I don't think that's the way he operates. But I do believe that God is fully ready to help us through things like this. He's not an escape hatch. He doesn't offer us ways out of things sometimes. Sometimes he does. But a lot of times he just offers us a life raft to help us pull through it. Jesus is our greatest single source of strength, of wisdom, of hope, of peace. I believe that. I've believed that all my life, yet I still worry. Faith is a difficult subject to talk about when we're thinking about worry. Popular thought suggests that if we have enough faith, then we shouldn't worry. So does that mean then when I do worry, that just means I don't have enough faith? Well, some days probably so. I mean, the Bible says 365 different times, do not fear. Do not be anxious. Don't worry. In different contexts, of course. And I honestly believe that that's a reminder, not a command. I believe God knows that we do worry, but we shouldn't let it take control of our lives. Every time in the Bible when an angel appears to humans, the first words out of their mouth are, do not fear, do not be afraid. I believe they say that because they know that we are going to be if we see an angel. I mean, it's something totally out of the ordinary. And I think there are things in this life that are completely scary and worth worrying about. And God, I believe, totally understands that. He just offers us ways to do it less. I honestly believe that God offers us opportunities all the time to learn to have more strength, to be able to work our way through things, asking for his help to do that. So is worry a bad thing? Well, I believe over-worrying, overthinking, overreacting, and overly anxious is probably not a good thing because it's a complete waste of time. It's a waste of our energy. It's a waste of our thought process. But understand for a second that worry, that anxiousness, that fear are emotions. They're not things designed to take us down. They're things designed to protect us, to help us plan and prepare. We're just not designed to have those things for a long period of time. In fact, no emotion should overtake our lives. We have to have a balance of things. So all those things, whether they be fear, anxiousness, joy, or love, they're all emotions, and we need them all. If we don't ever have anxiety or fear or worry, we're cheating ourselves out of an emotion. A lifetime of worry proves that one can be a believer and believe what Christ was and is to us and still be anxious about things and still worry about things. The trick is to be able to have the faith to know that things we go through can be turned into blessings. The difficulties that we have, and we're not promised to not have difficulties if we have faith. The thing is, the faith can give us strength to go forward and deal with it. When we're going through a difficult time, I try to remember my best to pray, because sometimes the situation will just overtake you and worry just slams you in the face. But if we stop down and pray, my wife reminds me a lot of times when she sees me stressed, have you prayed about it? And then I stop. And when I do, I find this unexplainable peace. The trouble is, sometimes I pray for the wrong things. Two problems I usually end up praying for is, one, just to remove the situation. I don't believe it's in God's job description to just remove our struggles all the time. If that's all He did, if we go into a problem and we just pray and He takes it away from us, boy, faith would be an easy thing to sell. That's not what it is. I need to remember to pray, to have strength, understanding, and face it head on, grab the hand of Christ and say, help me through this. And He does. He gives me peace and understanding and knowing that there could be a purpose behind the things that I'm learning. I've found more purpose through faith in my life than anything else has ever given me. And so I pray not for removal, but for strength through the problem. The other thing I've got to remember is to not get angry when God doesn't remove my problems. Many times He has, but a lot of times He hasn't. But He's always there for me to grab onto and move forward. Faith gives me the motivation and the strength to keep moving. I realize that I'm not alone. Jesus is our biggest fan. He wants us to succeed. He doesn't want us paralyzed in fear. He knows we are going to have our fears and our worries and our anxieties. But all we got to do is remember that He's there to help us enjoy this adventure called life. Our faith is not going to remove our problems. That's not the point. But our faith can help us have the strength to carry on and not quit. Good will happen if we can just focus on today and what we can do to make today great. Prayer is a huge part of that and will bring our worries to a manageable level.